Good morning, everybody. How are you today? I'm just going to bring this up on my laptop here. Let's see if it's the right way. Yeah, awesome. Give me 1 second. Okay. Hello, who's there? Hi, Paul. How are you, Paul? Paul, when you're coming over to set up my lighting, I see what you've done there. It's just amazing, your little studio. Just amazing, amazing, amazing. Well, good morning, everybody. It is a cold morning in Kelowna. In fact, let me show you what I'm wearing. Good morning, Jill. Hi, Leslie. Let me show you what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my Christmas fleece already. It's got snowflakes on it. It is so nice. And if I was to take my phone down, you would see I have a matching fleece pajamas on. The beauty of not having to come right on camera in the morning. But we know why we did that, right? We did that because I couldn't get my portrait or the landscape right on my phone every time I did it. So anyway, we have a pretty jam-packed morning, but I wanted to say a few things before I get started. First of all, I just wanted to thank all the ladies that came out on Sunday to create the Seahorse project. You ladies are amazing. I think I've done 24 of these now in the last couple of weeks. They have been such a big hit. And hi, Min. Hi, Wendy. Been such a big hit. And I can't thank you guys enough. You guys created amazing pieces and it was a lot of fun. I'll be posting the pictures today once I get a chance. So thank you very much for coming out for this. All the love I got for this project, thank you. And I just want to let you know, October 31st, we are sold out, but my Steampunk Maiden that lights up will be on October 31st at Volcanic Hills Winery. The reason I'm showing these today is simply because Dali's been getting a lot of requests for these two projects. If you want to do these, I am more than willing to do an online private Facebook group to teach these two classes. Dali will have all the products there for everybody there in Europe. And of course, if you want to do it from here too, you can get the products or whatever you need or whatever you have on hand to create these two projects. So you just need to let Dali or myself know, and Dali and I will work on getting that sorted. And if there's anything she's missing, I can always send it out to her. But a big thank you to all the ladies. You guys are a barrel of laughs, and to the other classes that came and did this project. So, good morning, Charlie. I'm glad that you're doing well, Paul. Who's paying for the flight? Hey, I'll pay for your flight, Paul. If I can get all my lighting right and get a whole studio set up, I'll be good. Yeah, for sure. Now, yes, Jill. Yes, I know, Jill, you're so good. Yes, I will talk to Dali and let's see if we can't get something set up. Bug her. I haven't seen her online yet. I think she's talking to my dad, actually, my sister FaceTiming. So, as you all know, I do a mixed media class at the city, and it's usually 4 weeks of straight kind of mixed media, one evening a week. And the last week, I really super challenged the girls. So I forgot about this one. I had to go grab it. So I super challenged the girls. And what happened was they had... Didn't help that we went and had dinner before and some of us had wine. But anyway, that's a different story. So I challenged the girls to do 3 boxes in 2 hours. And every box was very different. So the 2 boxes that I'm going to create for you, and the reason I'm doing them, is one, because I've already taught this class in person, but also because I got such a huge response of, you know, these are the cutest little boxes for Christmas time and for putting in little gifts or candies. You can customize them whichever way you want. And I had a lot of people ask if I would be willing to do a Facebook Live. So here I am today. Again, send in your request if there's anything you want to see. So I'm not going to be doing this one, but how cute is this little box? It is so cute. Imagine giving that to a little kid, maybe even putting in a little truck or a little one of those hot cars or something. I think they would just love it. And it's such a great piece. Paul, you're making me laugh with your laugh out loud. It's got all the yummy snow paste and everything on it, and some sparkling gels. I just love this project. So that was one of the projects, and I think it was the most challenging, getting this kind of ombre effect. It can be a little bit challenging, but I'm not sure if the light is letting me show it there properly. But we're not going to be doing this one because this one does take time to do. I'm very happy to say 90% of all 3 boxes got completed. So I'm really, really happy. And I think from what I was told, the girls love this project. So very excited about that. The other box, which we'll start off with, is using the gorgeous sparkling gels and the A5 texture molds and the Pentart stencil. And let me see if you guys can guess which stencil am I using. I am using my very own Pentart background texture stencil, which is my utmost favorite stencil in the world. Not because it's mine, because it's just brilliant. So there you go. So this is just black primer paste, gesso, and sparkling gels. That's it, nothing else. Last week I showed you how to stencil with white gesso primer paste. This week I'm going to show you with the black one. And the other box is using Lazurs, and it is absolutely the cutest little box. And it says Timeless Illusion, which is from our Steampunk Maiden stamp that Jelly and I have under the Shock Art Sisters. It was actually our first release with our Steampunk Mechanics 12x12 book. And it's the cutest little box. And I look at this and I keep thinking, I gotta find a watch, and I'm gonna put some nice felt and stuff or velvety stuff inside and put a watch in it for my dad. But he has lots of watches, so I'll just have to take one and put one in it, and then he can put it in his room. But I just love, love, love this little box. Now, this is using scraps, and that's the beauty of these boxes. This is just using scraps, and this is only one product on here, and that is Lazur. So one product, a scrap piece of paper, patterned paper, and this is black primer, gesso, and sparkling gel. So how easy is that? 2 boxes, literally 2 products on each. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing today. But before I get going, what I'm going to do is just show you the mold that I've used on this box. So we're going to start with this box first, just to make it easier. I am going to switch up in between so I can let this box kind of dry after I've done the stenciling. So as you can see, there's so much texture on the top of this, so much texture on this box. And let's put that aside. And so what I'm using is, on top of that box for that texture, is a texture mold, which some of you got to see me show you how I make these, and I'm going to do a quick demo on it again. So it's just a mold, an A5 mold, and there's got to be about 20 different styles of these. And basically, they're a very flexible material that just pops right up. So you can die cut with it, you can color it with alcohol inks, you can color it with anything you want. Today we're going to be using sparkling gels. And what we create that in is this A5 mold. So it is de-embossed on one side and embossed on the other. And you're basically going to fill everything out on one side, let it dry for at least 12 hours. And then what you're going to do is you are just going to pull it right out of the mold. Okay. Now, what you use for that is light modeling paste. Not the regular modeling paste, the very light modeling paste, because that's what makes it flexible. You can also use this for stenciling. I'm going to be gluing this down, not with a heavy body gel due to drying time, but with my 3D varnish glue, because that's instant, as we learned last week, right? We have the primer paste gesso, which is in black. Oh, thank you, Gail. Yes, we need a play day soon. Maybe, Gail, we could do for Bonnie's potluck day or something. So we have them for we have Pentart primer gesso here. Obviously can't do two things at one time. And my favorite stencil, which got a little bit dirty at the class the other day. We're going to be using this pattern right here. And then I'm going to be using Pentart gold wax paste. I've got copper here. I've got silver and I've got brass, but I'm not sure which colors I'm going to be using out of these three, but they're going to be my kind of go-to colors today for this project. And today's star of the show is the sparkling gels. Sparkling gels are just gorgeous. That's exactly what they are. They're a sparkling gel. They're an acrylic paint gel that has sparkles in it. So you get them in all these yummy colors. And so appropriate for Christmas time. And I think there's about 8 different colors. I don't have one of the browns, but there's a goldy brown also. Must have left that over on my shelf. But they're absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. But let's start off with showing you how I fill my mold. And I should have really had one ready to go so I could tell you how I pull it out. But getting it out is the easy part. Now, typically I tell everybody, as you would have remembered from my Sunday class, that when you're doing a mold, you don't have the white. Okay, girl, I'll put ones aside for you, hun. What you want to do is just take your light modeling paste. Now, once you get really good at this, out of one pot, you can usually get 5 to 6 molds. And they're thin, but they're not like super thin. So you can see this mold. I mean, I was able to scrunch it up. You can see all the detail in it. So basically what you want to do, try and avoid to get it on the front here. Just get it a little bit on the back. And what you're going to do is I like to fill all the areas first like this. Just fill them right up. I just love the sounds I make when I do my mixed media. And the reason I do this, these are so intricate. Some of them have so much detail that you don't want to miss some pockets here or get some air in there. You really want to get this right through. Okay, so that's your first step, just to make sure you've got all the pockets covered. Now they're quite bendy, so they're really flexible, so you can lift them up and work with them. But that's what you basically want it to look like. You just basically want all the air pockets filled. Okay, then the next step and the last step is you want to put a little bit on your palette knife and you just want to put it down here like this, and it's basically like icing a cake, and you just want to ice it over like this. And what this allows you to do is to have a nice thin layer so you have no holes when you pull it up. Now you can see the difference between the two where I've done it, where it's see-through and where it's not. Now it's important that you go towards the edge of the pattern, because if you don't, you won't have nothing to grab to pull the mold out. Okay, and like I said, you want to leave this overnight for it to dry. Now I could leave it and just have it this much, but because I've already covered all of it, I'm going to do all of it. But if there's an area that you want, say for instance you just want the butterfly, then you can just do the butterfly. Or if you just want the Harlequin transcript there or pattern, then you can do that. But that's all you're doing. You're just basically now icing the top of your mold. Usually I can do 2 in a day with the same mold if it's sunny outside, because I just put them outside and they tend to dry in half the time. But there's no sun, so this mold will not come out till tomorrow. And I need about 20 of these by October 31st for my class. So that's why I'm demoing on this one. It's a very light paste. So don't worry, this will settle down so you won't have all these lines and stuff. It will turn out to be quite smooth by the time it's all said and done. But just make sure you're getting good coverage, but thin. And there you have it. That's all you're doing. Let's just finish this little bit up here and then we're all good to go. There we go. So that is how you make a mold. Just a little quick demo on how they work. There's about 20 different, like I said, different styles. And if you haven't checked out the pre-orders for the new stamp period collection on my website or Dali's website, do it while you can. There's loads of new molds as well as the new scrapbook releases and stamps and everything. And I tell you to have a look because Stamperia is doing something a little bit different. They're doing a limited edition first run, which means everybody only gets limited stock. So you want to get your pre-orders in sooner than later. Okay, so moving on. We have our box and we have our mold. The first thing that you want to do is you want to cut out the shape of the top of your box. Yeah, hi Dali. I love the texture molds too. Remember the first time we did them and we did them on the wrong side, but they turned out cool anyway? And then we just went with that. So you want to figure out where you want to have your pattern. On this one you can see I've used, let me see, the bottom end of this. So maybe today I'll put the little butterfly on it. See how that turns out. So just flip it over. And we're just going to cut this so that it fits the box. And these pieces are great because, like I said, you can die cut with them. You can put them on cards. We use them actually in a lot of projects. You guys can probably see my fleecy pajama top that I'm wearing now. Whoops. I've kind of moved that. Any excess pieces you have, you can cut off after, so not to worry. Okay, so now you have these pieces that you can play with. What I like to sometimes do is keep these pieces for cards or extra projects, but also when I need a test piece to see how my colors are going to work, I just use one of these to try the test on before I actually go on to my project. Okay, so there we have it. Oh, and look at that. The butterfly is just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, just like my sister Deli. Okay. Now, that we have this. So the first step that you're going to do is we are going to come in and we're just going to gesso the box all black. I was just seeing what brushes I had here. Gesso the box all black. Let me see, which one do I want to use? It's cold out. Don't know what we will do when the snow flies. I know, Gail. Gail, apparently I've heard we are going to get the worst winter ever. I don't know what we're going to do. Now, don't worry too much about covering the whole of the top box because we're going to be putting the mold on it. But you guys know me, and I'm going to cover all of it because I just need to make sure everything's covered. So you all know Pentart products dry really fast, so this will be dry, so just keep going around. Yes, Wendy, if you're watching, which I think you are because I saw you and I said hi, yes, you might get a little bit dirty. So gloves, yes, are definitely an option. Don't worry too much about like having supersonic coverage. I'm going over the finishings on this too, because you're going to come in with your sparkling gel over this. And the reason I'm doing this is because the sparkling gel will stand out more on a black primered surface than it will on if you went straight on wood. Albeit if you want that look, because they're almost like a transparent gel, you can get that look too. It's entirely up to you. So I'm just going to give that a quick blast as I keep going along. If I can find my heat tool. Okay, I see I missed a piece here. I'm so bad. I can't handle that. Can't handle that. Okay, so let's keep going this way. There we have that side done. Now we shall do the back. So much gets left on the brush. I don't like that, so I have to take it off. Okay, so we're just about done this. As I always say, take your time at home. There we go, and then I'm just going to get the bottom because you guys know I'm picky about having a finished piece. Now, I originally didn't put any sparkling gel on the bottom of that box I made. Oh, yes, I did. I thought I hadn't. So I guess I will be. Oh, I didn't do the inside of my boxes. So we're just going to let that, put that there. We're going to twist this around. And what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to come in and do my little texture mold here. Go black all around it. I see something and I don't like it on my box. Uh-oh, that means, you know what that means, don't you guys? I'm going to go back in to fix it. I've got like a big chunk of the primer here. There we go. I feel better now. Okay, so best way to do this, to get in all the nooks and crannies, is just to stipple it like this a little bit. Again, if you don't get complete coverage, don't worry too much, because we're going to come in with the sparkling gel. So a nice stiff bristled brush. I find you need those the most in mixed media. Now, yes, all Pentart products are good to use with a heat tool, but just be careful when you're drying your molds, because they are done with the modeling paste, and if they're not completely dry, they will bubble up on you, as will any product if you get too close to it with your heat tool. So always be careful of that. Okay, so that's it for the primer gesso for now. I don't think we need the primer gesso brush. We need the primer gesso, but not the brush. So I'm going to give this a quick blast. Okay, so next step is, what's Paul up to? Who replies, I'm a shepherd's pie. Dressed like a shepherd. Shepherd's pie. I was just talking about shepherd's pie this morning. Oh no, I've got some black primer there missing. Okay, I gotta let it go. So take your stencil now. You know, the more flexible the stencil, obviously the more easier it is. But I like this stencil. It's not as the most flexible, but I like it, and we're gonna go with it. And just position wherever you want to have your pattern on this. So I might do this one a little bit differently. Maybe do this. So again, all you're doing, look at me, I keep changing my mind, don't I? All you're doing is you're just, again, bringing in some of your primer gesso, and all you're going to do is just do this. You're just going to stencil with it, and you're going to see how amazing that's going to look when you come over it with the sparkling gel. So then what you want to do is just work your way around to wherever you want to see this pattern or any other pattern that you have with a stencil, and just work in your gesso. I need to bring a little bit more here. And don't go too thick. And you can see the patterns coming along there on the box, okay? So then just carry on, and well, I'm struggling, which way do I want to go? Let's do something different, shall we? I'm going to do another one here. Random is always good. And then we will have to wait till we do the one on this side, because it is still wet on the other side. So let me give that a quick dry. And you see the pattern. So I'm going to gently come in with this one because I don't know, I can't say that I've got it completely dry on the other side. And then we are going to come in and I'm going to do a matching one on this side. And just bring it down and put it through. That's it. Okay. Okay, so in terms of this box, what we have so far is a black gesso on here, and we've also done stenciling with the black gesso. Hi Laura, we've also done stenciling with the black gesso. So what we're going to do is we are going to put this one aside and we're going to work on the next box. Now the other thing that we've done is that we've already done this piece also. In fact, what I'm going to do, and now that I look at this, oh my goodness, look at how many white bits I've missed. Oh my goodness. Let me just come in and clean that up. You guys probably hate it because I'm just so all the time a little bit picky about how my stuff looks, and Dali just goes at it and gets it right the first time. Okay. Yeah, just wonderful, Dali. Just wonderful. Okay, that's good enough. I won't keep you guys. Oh, my stencil. Look at my stencil. Clean your stencils up right away. Okay, that's the best it's going to get for now. I will deal with the rest of it later. Okay, so let's glue this little bit down here. And again, I'm going with the 3D varnish because, is it me or has the video stopped? It's you, Paul. Oh no, too messy. What's messy? Oh, the stencil, yeah. But you already did this and you didn't make a mess, Judy. So my way of getting glue on my box is to use my finger. Yeah, I would use heavy body gel, but given that we have only so much time, I am going to go with the 3D gel. Then what you want to do is you want to place your top on your box like this, like so, easy peasy. And already we have a box that is looking, yes you did, Judy, like this. So I'm just going to put this like this so it dries, and also there's a little bit of weight on that. And let's put this one away. Now I have to tell you guys, I am so spoiled. I am so spoiled by my big sister Dali. It's not even funny. And I'm talking about it because it has to do with my next project. So I'm just going to get some of this primer off my hands so I don't contaminate my next project. So this is the next one that we did. And I'll tell you why I'm spoiled. So I says to Dali, I was talking to her, FaceTiming her yesterday because I haven't had a chance to talk to her in the last couple of days because I've just been busy with my schedule, as has Dali. And I says, oh, Dali, I've got so many requests about these boxes. Do you think it'd be all right if I did a Facebook Live? What do you think? And she goes, absolutely. She goes, I love the boxes. And she goes, it's great to go back to techniques that people can do with leftover supplies and minimal products. So I showed her, and just obviously she'd seen them, and then I showed her in person. She goes, oh, I just love this box. And I says, I know, right? You need a basin of, yeah, I normally do, Gail. Have a basin of water. So so I'm on the phone FaceTiming her, and you know, we're just talking about everything. And I says to her, you know, I says, you know what would be really cool with the orange competition going on? Wouldn't it be like really cool if I had like an orangey scrapbook paper that has some leaves in it, and I could make the box with that? And I says, but I don't. There's no pad. I don't have anything. And Dali goes, oh, you don't? No. She goes, yeah, you're right. There's nothing out there that's really orangey with leaves, because the theme is leaves for the competition. So I kid you not, 5 minutes later, okay, maybe 10 minutes later, Dali goes, hey, she goes, hey kiddo, she goes, don't worry about it. I says, worry about what? She goes, the box. I says, okay, I'll just do the same box. She goes, no, don't worry about it. She goes, I've made you a scrapbook paper. That's how spoiled I am. So we're just carrying on, and she goes, check your phone. I've sent you some papers. And she goes, tell me if you want to work with them tomorrow. Tell me if you want to use them on your box. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? So look what Dali did for me. While we were just FaceTiming, 10 minutes later, she sends me this gorgeously designed orange paper with leaves and flowers on it. Hi, Gloria. I'm just like shocked. So Dali, thank you. I don't know, you're magnificent. So we're going to work with Dali's newly designed paper. Dali, I hope you put this on as a digital download because I am loving it. Okay, so let's go to this box. This box, what we're using for this box today is we're going to use the Lazurs, the Pentart Lazurs. There are so many Pentart Lazurs. Thank you, Judy. So many Pentart Lazurs. You guys know I love using these things because when you use the Lazurs, they allow the grain to show right through. Oh, you're welcome, Han. Dali, that's you, Han. They allow the grain to show through when you use them. And as Paul says, thank you, Terry, as Paul says, the outdoor ones are waterproof. So they come in so many different colors. My go-to is actually the walnut, the pine, okay, maybe a couple of goes too, and the olive. But because it's the orange competition and the competition is nearly over at the end of this week, I might even go and use the orange and the green for the leaves. I don't know. So you want Lazur and you want scrapbooking papers. Might use a 3D pen at the end to snazz it up a little bit. So those are the 3D core leveling pens. And you need a Versamark because we'll be doing some embossing. I am going to use the Distress Ink Black Suit. And I've got some embossing powders here. I don't know which ones I'm going to use. I've got Emerald Creek Dew Leaf Classic. And I've got Ranger Queen's Gold embossing powder. Again, don't know what I'm going to use. And I'm using my Pentart Floral Abundance stamp to do for my embossing. She's a wonderful sis, Gail. She's a wonderful sis. Only this morning we were talking about how much we miss each other and we can't wait till she comes down. Okay, so let's get going. Otherwise, I'm going to be keeping you guys here all day. So the first thing that you want to do is, let's go take the label off here. Give me 1 second. Now, normally what I would do is I would come in and Lazur it because I kind of know what Lazur colors I want to use. It was easy with this because this was all brown toned, so I knew I wanted to go with my favorite walnut. But with this one, I don't know because I'll be playing around with it. So I think with this one, or maybe should I just go for it? What do you guys think? No, I think with this one, I think I'm going to stick my paper down first and then I will come in with my Lazur. So what you need is a sheet of scrapbook paper. So this is a classic example of the orange theme leaves competition that we have going on that ends October 28th. And just so that all of you know, thank you for all your entries. I will be judging for everybody over in the UK and Europe, basically. And Dali, Paul, and maybe a guest person from a design team will be judging from Dali's end for my people who have posted on Pip Art Creations and groups. So that way, because I know so many of you personally, I don't want to take the responsibility of picking one, basically. That's what it comes down to. And we thought it would be a lot more fair that way. But you need one piece of paper and you need a piece of foam. And you get thick foam, thin foam. I'm using thin foam because it's a dainty box. And what I've already done is I've kind of cut it down to where I need it to be. Don't worry if it goes over. I can X-Acto knife off the excess afterwards. So the first thing that you want to do is take your glue, and what you want to do is just come in and glue down your piece of paper. Use my old technical techniques here of using my finger. I do love the 3D gel because it does allow me to do this really quick, the 3D varnish. Put your paper flush because it's easier to flush it on one side. Saves you having to cut it on both sides. Okay, and put that down. So that's your first step. I'm multitasking. I'll put my lid on while I'm doing that. So once that is on, you want to let that dry a little bit. So maybe we will come and lasso the box. And I always ask you guys, okay Jane, we'll see you in a bit. Let's go lasso the box while that dries a bit. I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to go for it, Dally. I'm going to go for it. What colors, guys? What colors do you think I should use? I'm thinking, well, these were the colors I wanted to use. Let's see. We've got orange. We've got the olive, and I wanted my walnut in there because I like my walnut. So maybe I'll just use a mishmash. Why don't we try a mishmash? Boy, I've started so much experimenting on Facebook Lives. I'm starting to scare myself. Let's try a mishmash. Where do you get the boxes from? Paul, you don't even know. Whether I'm going to Prince George, Vancouver, Winnipeg, I just stop in every place that I possibly can and just grab whatever I can. So if you were to ask me where I got them from, I would have to figure out where I got them from. Having said that, Gail, if you're still there, you had asked me about the wooden planks that I used in one of my demos. I have actually picked you up a bunch, hun. So I will drop those off to you when I see you. Okay, so let's see what the orange looks like. Look, the best place to start is the bottom. Oh, that is so orange. Look how orange that is. Yeah, the work should have similar, right? So that's a bit too orangey for me. So let's try a little bit of, let's bring in some of this green. Oh, that's made it nicer. So now we've got this look going on, which matches a lot better. So maybe what I'm gonna do is come in and do the orange. It is an orange competition after all. And then I'm going to come in with a little bit of green over it so that I keep the tones of the paper in there. So now if I was to look at that paper in this, that's a good match for me. Maybe it doesn't show up quite as good on there. Let me bring a little bit more orange in here. Might not need that walnut stain after all. So there you have it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's go in with the orange. I've already run out of my orange. You know what I'm going to have to do after now, because waste not, want not. I'm going to have to go and create another box using the walnut stain. I just love these stains. Okay, pick up a little bit of that green. Perfect for the challenge. these orange and green colors. Yeah, Paul, I love these boxes because they allow me to do these techniques. And also, as I was telling the girls in the mixed media class, the great thing about these boxes is that if I was using the great big boxes, they would only get to do one box and one technique. With having different boxes, different styles, it allows me then to teach a bunch of styles, different techniques in one go. Where's my olive? These are so watery, so be careful with them. As you can see, look how watery they are. I mean, be careful with them. I mean, if you spill them, they're gonna go everywhere. So it dries really fast, as you can see. I'm just working with it as I go along. The bottom is already dry. Can you see all the little splatters? That's how thin they are. They are quite thin. So you can see the kind of look that I'm getting with this box. And then all we have to do is the top. I'm just going to go directly on this. Yes, I know it's going to be covered, but I like to have it covered myself with my stuff. And the green. Okay, there we have it. Now, if I want to come in with the walnut stain a little bit, to just stain up some of these edges like this to give it a darker look, I can also do that. Just to give it kind of that shadowing look at the bottom and at the sides. You can see there the two tones on it now, maybe not so much in the camera. Okay. Look at that grain showing through. How gorgeous is that on the grain box? Okay, I think that's good. Now that I've saturated my box with this, but this is just absolutely gorgeous, just stunning. Okay, and look how well it matches with those papers. Okay, so that's it, we're done with that. Now, what we're going to do next is that we are going to be placing this on here like this, and I want to show you how well that box works now. And first thing that I'm going to do is that I'm just going to cut this down to size. And get my cutting mat here. This is a really quick, easy one. And put this down. And then what we're going to do is just cut off that excess. That's it, all done. Now, I'm going to keep this here. We're going to take this and we're going to bring this down now. We're going to put this to the side, okay? And then what you want to do is grab a ruler. And basically, you are going to do a little jigsaw puzzle. Okay, so I'm going to keep these jigsaw puzzle quite simple and quite straightforward, simply because I don't want to make it too intricate because we'd be here all day. And what you basically want to do is you just want to slice your jigsaw puzzle in different areas. Again, I'm going to keep this one a bit bigger, but here you can see how kind of intricate I've gone and done different shapes. Thanks, Charlie, just to give it a different look. So make sure I know where they go, because then I'm going to be in trouble. I think they went like this. Good. Okay, so I've kept it fairly simple. Okay, now this is already starting to look different because of what we've done. The next thing that you want to do is you want to come in and you want to distress all your little squares. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to set these down the way that they were. Like so. Oops. And then we are going to just come in and we're going to distress these. Okay. And once we've distressed one, we are just going to glue it down. Next one. This really gives it a nice finish, and as you can see on there, it's already showing up where you've distressed it. Better get this the right way up. See how nice that looks? Oh, I think it looks nice. So I'm using black on this because I think the black really stands out. On the other one I used, I believe it was Walnut Stain. Thank you, Paul. Trying to look at the comments as I go along. Thank you, Dolly. This paper is absolutely gorgeous, just perfect. So you can basically take any scrap paper that you got lying around, and you can. I've done it on bigger boxes. I've done it on smaller boxes. But if you look at that box right now that I did, no time at all. If you look at this box right now, look how much nicer that box looks. Doesn't that look really nice? Hi, Rachna. But look how nice that box is. Dali, the papers are gorgeous. It's changed the whole way that box looks. Now, Dali, I actually printed off a bunch of these papers because I really like them. So what I did was, Dali has this gorgeous, gorgeous flower die cut. She has loads of them. I have loads of them. And what I've done is I've gone and cut some flowers and with the die cut in the same paper, and I've already distressed all the edges. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting these down here like this. So now look at my box. How cool is that? How pretty is that to put a gift in there? Oh, thank you, Paul. I'm happy to hear that. But before I do that, before I stick these flowers down, I want to give this a little bit more of a, I don't know, a pickup. So what I'm going to do, thank you, Terry. What I'm going to do is I just happen to, believe it or not, Deli, I don't even know if you knew when you were doing this, but in my floral abundance, I have a very pretty rose and of course all the leaves. So guess what? I'm going to be using that rose, and I am going to randomly, don't judge me, my acrylic block is really dirty. I am going to randomly, where this is going to go down, do some of my, not leaves. I think I'm going to leave the leaves, but I'm going to do the rose. And, oh, so prepared today. Good girl. I think I'm going to go with the gold. Want it a little bit subtle. I'm not going to use the green I originally thought. So, with your Versamark pad, what you're going to do is get some Versamark on there. And I'm just randomly... Oh, no! Make sure your work is dry. Make sure your work is dry. Oh, no. Bad child. Bad child. Look, now I don't even know where I put that Versamark down. Now I'm really in poo-poo caca. Okay, let's try that again. Let's leave that section there. Gently, make sure your work is dry. I'm crapping myself now, so I don't know if this is gonna even work now. Just randomly come in and Versamark this. You don't need it everywhere. We'll just see now what happens, because that little piece there is probably all ruined. But this is what happens when you're doing it live. Okay, let's just go for it, shall we? Are you guys all wetting yourselves laughing? I know you are. Oh, I don't know where my little spoons are, but let's just do it this way. Because it's wet, it's going to be everywhere. Nah, I think it survived. I think it survived. I know you guys are still killing yourselves laughing. Yeah, you got to let things dry, I guess. Okay, so this was Ranger Royal Gold that I used. See what it looks like. But I just can't believe that the flowers in there match this. So let's heat dry this now, shall we? My foam is getting too hot and it's curling up. Okay, this Dali, oh my goodness, this, if you guys could see this in real life, you guys would be like, oh wow. So have a look at this. Can you see how gorgeous that embossing on there is? And the flowers actually match. Dali, this is amazing. Hi Liliana. This is just, I'm just so in awe. So now that we've got, can you see it? I'm trying to show you where you can see the glimmer on it. So now that you've got this, I'm just killing myself laughing here. Let's do a little pokey dance with the flowers. And we are going to come and we are going to glue this down with my trusty glue. So put one down, and then we're going to come in and do the same with this one. I'll use my tools of the trade here. So that's a bit too far for me, so I'm going to bring it back in a little bit, about here. And go with the next size. Go with the next size. I think I might have left some sizes out because it would have been too big. And then we have the final little size. Oops, that one's moving. I know you girls at home would all be saying, where's your tweezers? I'm multitasking again. Hi, Mandy. We had snow last week. You've got sunshine. Okay. Oh, okay, I don't know. I'm thinking I like my new box better. See, look, guys, this is how easy it is to enter the, thank you, Charlie. This is how easy it is to enter the challenge for the white and green. You just talk to Dali, get her to send you some papers. Now, in terms of what colors I'm going to use on here, I think I'm going to go with, like I have Cornello Orange, I have Emerald Green, I have Fluorite Green, but I am going to go with my gold because of the embossing. I was going to test it out here and see if this is the right gold. I have two golds. I have a sparkly gold and a matte gold, and I want the matte gold. Like, I don't want the sparkly gold. And of course that doesn't want to come out because it's finished. So what do you guys think of the bugs? Oh, thank you, Terry. So we're going to go with the matte gold. So here it is. Oh, I just love this box. I wish I could enter the competition. And what I'm going to do, these are self-leveling and it will dome on its own. And that is my box. So that's one box down. Yay, we got one box down. But look, I hope you enjoyed the technique on it. It is so simple. Get your leftover scrapbooking papers and just create. Look how gorgeous that is. And again, leaves and orange, perfect for, look at that little dome in the middle. Perfect for the competition. So everything on this was actually olive and green that was used when I colored the box and stuff, okay? Oh, finally, one box done. Now let's finish off our other box, which has been sitting here. He's still a little bit wet. Let's give that a quick blast and we are ready to go and finish this off. And then you guys can all go and I can have my cup of tea. Okay, we're going to wing it, even though it's a little bit wet. Let's see what happens. Let me clean up some of this mess I've made today. I think I was being an overachiever trying to do 2 boxes on my Facebook Live. But this is easy peasy. If I, now to the, sorry, I was trying to open a bottle. I need my dad. Okay, so look at these sparkling gels. Oh my goodness, they're just lush. Okay, let's go with that color. Why do I have a certain colors that I like? We've got this one, which is Thorn Gold. This one is green that I showed you. What's this one? This is Blue Silver. And my favorite, Olive Gold. Okay, so basically, or let's even open the red, just because. Oh, maybe not. Oh, maybe we can do some gold. And a little bit of the gold. Okay, this is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Just want to get a brush. And basically all you're doing, I mean, don't try to contaminate your brushes. I should really probably get a paper towel here. is bring in some different colors, and you're just gonna stipple them on like this. Okay, so let me show you that a little bit close up. This is what you're doing. They're shiny, they're sparkly. So just do that in all the different areas where you want it. Come in as much as you want, as little as you want. And they have a sparkle. So they have like a golden sparkle to them. That's all you're doing. See that? See the two-tone sparkle in that? Then what you want to do is transition to your next color, which I am going with my olive green. And then you bring that in. Okay. I'm going to bring in a little bit of the blue silver because I feel like my butterfly kind of has gotten lost in there. And what you're basically doing is just working this in so it looks like one cohesive piece opposed to blotches of color. So you see how it looks like one piece even though I've used 3 colors, but if you tilt it you can see where the different colors are. So I'm going to come in a little bit more with this gorgeous tealy color. That's not the name of it. Okay, so once you've got that down and your different colors where you want them, then you can start working with some other different colors. Okay, these are kind of my go-to colors. So I am now going to change it up and use Thorn Gold, one of my favorite colors. Did I say that about all the colors I think I've used actually? And let's do some of this to highlight some of this writing here. But you see how that blends right in? But you can see it, but it's blended right in. And you just keep working it and get it to where you like it. There's no right or wrong, right? Just get it to where you like it. So if you look at this one, I've gone in quite deep and done a lot of different colors. This one I'm keeping very masculine, feminine, if you will. Okay, and maybe we'll come in with a bit of that gold. I just want to see what it's going to look like. I'm just going to clean my brush and let's just see if we did the butterfly in this gold, what it would look like, just to highlight it a little bit. Then a brush right now would have been good. Okay, I like my butterfly highlighted, albeit I'm going to probably come in with wax paste anyway. So there you have it, and the butterfly is highlighted now. So that was using the gold. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. Now, when I look at this, I'm going to look at what are my main colors on this. And Britt Stewart had actually done a really nice box at the class that day. In fact, everybody did. And she had done where she had transitioned 2 colors. So I'm going to try and pull a Britt here. She did an amazing job. So Britt, thank you. So basically she took her 2 main colors and she just transitioned from light to dark. So I'm going to go with my lightest color that I used, which is this color here. I'll tidy it up later. I won't keep you guys. See how sparkly they are? I don't know if you can tell how sparkly they actually are. So just then slowly start blending it down a little bit. And see how they went over the metal clasp really well. And then what I'm going to do is bring in a little bit of this turquoise color and slowly transition it in. I keep calling it turquoise, let me get you the proper name for that. It's green, it's green. But you see how you've got a two-tone effect going on now? Brilliant idea, Britt, thank you. See, the one thing I always tell when people come take my classes is, go with what you feel works for you, because what you're doing is you're in essence also teaching me different ways to do stuff that I might not do. So I always appreciate that. So you can see the transition between the two. And with the sparkling gels, you can go darker or lighter. I'm going to show you the difference. This one, like I said, I wanted a little bit more masculine. So, well, not even masculine, just a little bit more on the darker side. So I'm using less of my sparkling gel on this than I have on my other project. And I'll show you the difference. So just blend it in so it looks like one transition. And you know, I have to be honest, you can't tell on this how gorgeous these colors actually are. So transition the two colors together. So I don't know if you can see, there's a two-tone transition going on. So now I'm going to put that down, put that in water. I'm just going to shut the lids to my sparkling gels here. I always tell my class, my two pet peeves are when brushes are not in water, albeit I'm guilty of it too, as most of you know, and when lids aren't put on the products. I don't know why, they just bother me, and it's probably because I want you guys to be able to keep your brushes forever and your products to have a good shelf life. So I will show you what I mean in the difference. You can see with the sparkling, this is how dark you can go. You can get complete coverage, right? And then on this one, I've kept it very light, so you can almost see the black behind it. So it's not as dark. So it's just a different way of doing this. Thank you, Charlie. Just a different way of doing this. Now, I'm just going to give this a quick blast. I know it doesn't look like much in terms of color. One is because the camera just isn't picking up most of the color, but the wax will bring it to life, I promise. Okay, I'm just reading the comments as I'm driving. As I'm driving, I see Ninja, Terry, and Paul. You guys are hilarious. This is not as dry as I would like it, but I don't want to keep you. I'm going to work between the brass and the gold. I'm tempted to use copper. I will put it aside, but I will see. But look how gorgeous and how well these colors work together. Hold on, that's not a good view. How about that? Okay. Okay, yes, Charlie, maybe that's the word I should use. It gives it a antique look by not giving it the complete coverage. It gives it more of that kind of antique-y, shabby, I don't know, look. So I'm going to start with my gold, and I'm trying to think. I'm going to actually bring it onto my butterfly, the gold, because I did gold underneath it. But you see how that is popping now? So you look at that gorgeous shimmery gold on there. And then I'm going to bring brass for my writing. Can you guys see that? Now what I'm going to do with that brass, sorry if that's making people dizzy, is that I am going to bring in a little bit of gold just to offset it a little bit. It's hard to see on the camera, but I've kind of, you can see it's got two tones to it now. And do the same with the butterfly. Come in with a little bit of brass to pull it back, and she's now two-tone too. I think is a she butterfly, okay? And then I'm going to take some copper with a different finger. I'm just going to see how that looks. I likey the looky. So now look at your box. How pretty is that box? So this one is more deliberate than my last one, which is kind of, I've done lots of different colors and kind of stuck to gold. This one I've kind of done more deliberate with my colors on this. Now what you want to do is you want to come in, and this is where your raised pattern is. Remember when we stenciled that? Now look at that raised pattern. So you just gently go over it, and it comes to life. So how pretty is that? And that was just with your gesso, your black gesso. So you can do that and bring all your little flowers to life, or your stencil impressions. And because they're raised, they will only pick up the color, but you have to do it gently. You don't want to get it in the background. Look at that. That's just absolutely gorgeous, if I may say so. So there you have it. I'm just going to get rid of the excess on my fingers. See, there's no right or wrong. Let me just clean my hands so I can say a nice goodbye to everybody. Not that my hands have got anything to do with a goodbye, but you know, I just feel cleaner. So we have done 2 boxes. Thanks for bearing with me. It's a little bit longer than I normally do. But look, I really want to encourage you guys to do the orange competition, and that was the reason that I wanted to get that second box in also. And also because I wanted to pass on two very different techniques, yet just using wooden boxes. Now you can make these as big as you want. You can use these on cards, both techniques. You can use them on a big canvas. You know, the sky's the limit. So this was the original box where we went very dark with the, not dark, we put on a heavier coat of the sparkling gel. We did the green and thorn gold. No, that's not green, that's olive gold and thorn gold. And we did a bunch of different colors on the top, and I prominently used the gold wax paste. Now the one we did today, I prominently used the green, the thorn gold, and the olive gold or olive green. And I did more of a transitioning effect of 2 colors, the green and the olive tree green. And we didn't give it a complete coverage because I wanted to keep it that antique look, as Charlie got the right word for me there. We did stenciling with the brass wax paste, and I kept this more deliberate in the sense that I used copper, gold with brass and gold. And then for this box, it was just lazur and a scrap piece of paper, and just putting it on foam and cutting this up. You're welcome, Jill. And cutting it up And then this one, which is my favorite today, thank you Dali for the paper, was the box using the green and olive lazur. See how nice that is? See how the grain shows through? I just love that. And we embossed it with the Floral Abundance stamp, and we did the flower with Dali's Lodi. And then in the middle, look how cute that dome is. That's what I love about these self-leveling pens. We did the gold 3D pen and Dali's flower die. But there you have it. Thank you for bearing with me today. I know it was a longer session than normal, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the techniques and what you can do with leftover scraps and whatnot. But thank you guys. Thank you, Min. Dali's really good at these digital papers. I love them. And look, it's all glued now. Okay, everybody, have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. Again, thanks for sticking by me. I know I'm 15 minutes over my normal time. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Stay warm, stay safe. And Wendy, stay safe on your travels. Let me know when you get home okay. I hope to see you ladies all soon. Okay, have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.